Hello everyone, this is Choi. This is the first video for June 10th, 2020, okay? Wednesday, June 10th, 2020. Today, we're going to finish up Unit 8, and we're going to talk about phrasal verbs on page 100, okay? Page 100, we're going to talk about phrasal verbs, okay? So, what are phrasal verbs? What are phrasal verbs? Okay, phrasal verbs are made up with verbs. Okay, verb plus an adverb. Okay, or sometimes verb plus preposition. Okay, and then sometimes is verb plus adverb plus preposition. Okay, so I can use more difficult terminology, but simply put, phrasal verbs are made up with two or three words, okay, including a verb plus an adverb, or verb and a preposition, or verb and both, okay, adverb and preposition, okay. That's what a phrasal verb is, okay. So, for example, let me give you a phrasal verb. Let's say pick up. Okay, so this phrasal verb is made up with two different words, right? Pick and up. Okay, pick and up. Now together is a phrasal verb, right? But individually you have the word pick and up. Okay, so if you just know the meanings of the individual word, pick means what? Like choose, right? Or like there's some other meaning for pick, okay? But and up means what? Up, right? Up and down, right? So if you just know the individual meanings of each word, then you would not know the meaning of the phrasal verb. Okay? So a lot of times it changes totally, right? So pick up means what? Pick up means, like in in modern days, you drive your car and somebody's waiting for you at the airport or at the school or wherever, and you give them a ride, right? Okay, you let them ride in your car, you pick them up, right? All right. So it's very important to learn phrasal verbs. Okay. First of all, there are more than 10,000. Okay, I'm sorry, that's less than more than 10,000 phrasal verbs in the English language. So this is a huge number of words. Okay, so if you don't know these words, then you really can't speak the language fluently. Okay, you have to know this. There are a lot of phrasal verbs. Okay, another thing is because of that, if you don't know, okay, if you don't know these words, okay, it's very, very difficult to understand the English language. Okay, you know what pick, you know what up means, right? But if you don't know what pick up means, you're just not gonna do well in this language. Okay, and then the third reason is what? Third reason is if you can incorporate these phrasal verbs in your conversation, okay, because phrasal verbs are very informal speech, right? This is not academic speech or writing. So, but if you can learn the phrasal verb and use it properly, then you can have a very natural conversation in English. Okay, in other words, you will sound very fluent. Okay, like the native speakers of English. Okay, so so these are very important reasons. Okay? There are a lot of words, for example, and then second was, you just can't function. You just can't function in this language if you don't know the phrasal verbs, and it'll also, if you know them, it'll make you sound very, very natural. Okay, all right, so let's look at some of these phrasal verbs. Okay, in detail. Okay. Um, First of all, let's look at the two-word. Okay, two-word phrasal verbs. Okay, let's use. Okay, look up. Okay, look up and That's easy enough, okay? Look up and look down, okay? All right, so these are phrasal verbs, okay? Look up, okay? Now, you can literally say, look up, okay? Now, that's not a phrasal verb. That just means look up, okay? So that's not a phrasal verb. Look up as a phrasal verb means what? If you, for example, if you don't know, if you don't understand the word, a vocabulary word, or you're learning English words, then you have to look up the word in the dictionary, right? So we look up words, okay? That's a good sentence, right? We look up words, okay? We're not saying there's a word in the sky and we're looking up, okay? That's not a phrasal verb, okay? We look up words in the dictionary, right? Or in the internet, right? We look up. That means we find those words and try to understand what the definition is, what the meaning is, and the usages, right? We look up words, okay? How about look down? Okay, look down. Okay, that's a literal sentence. That's not a phrasal verb. Okay, look down as a phrasal verb means what? Okay, that's like when you look at some people thinking that they're not as good as you. Okay, that you think you're better than them. Okay, like for example, they look down at let's say poor people, okay, for example, okay, so whoever they look down. That means they think they're better than poor people. When they see poor people, they say, oh, these people are trash, they're no good, right? That's looking down, okay? Look down, okay? Anyway, so these are two words, two word phrasal verbs, and these happen to be what? They have to be verb, obviously. Look is the verb, and then up and down, these are adverbs, okay? All right? You look up and look down. Look where? Look how? Look up. Look how? Look down, okay? So these are adverb phrasal verbs, okay? And let's look at some examples of verb with prepositions, okay? Verb with prepositions, okay? Let's continue with look, okay? How about this one? Look for and look after, okay? Look for and look after. You can say, I look for my car keys, okay? I look for my car keys, okay? So in this sentence, for my car keys, that's a prepositional phrase, okay? That's a prepositional phrase, okay? That for is a preposition, therefore, okay? That's a verb and a preposition phrasal verb, okay? Look for my car keys. I look for my car keys, okay? Or look after. Let's say we look after our children, okay? We look after our children, right? We look after our children. Again, after our children is a prepositional phrase, and this after is the preposition, okay? All right? So, we have four phrasal verbs, and all of them has the same verb, look, okay? But first two are adverb, okay? We look up words. We look down at poor people, okay? And then the second two, okay, third and fourth, we have for and after, okay? I look for my car keys. We look after our children, okay? So these are prepositions, okay? Because they start prepositional phrases, okay? So phrasal verbs can have, they're we can get into more detail, but for our purpose, we'll just keep it simple, okay? We have two-word phrasal verbs. Some of them are verbs and adverbs. Others are verbs and prepositions, okay? So those are two-word prepositions, okay? All right. So again, as always, if you have any questions, please email me, okay? schoi@gmail.com, okay? All right. Let's see here. Okay. Now let's look at some three-word prepositional phrases, okay? I'm sorry, not prepositional. Three-word phrasal verbs, okay? 3-word phrasal verbs. Okay, let's look for let's do okay. Dress up for. Okay, for example, that's a phrasal verb, 3 words phrasal verb. Okay, so you can say we dress up for the, let's say, party. Okay, for example. Okay, so this is the verb. Okay, and what is this one? That's the adverb, and this is the preposition. Okay, we dress up for the party. We dress up for the party. Okay, all right, dress up for. Okay, you can dress up for the wedding. You can dress up for the first day of class. Okay, another one is what's another one? Get on with. How about that? Get on with. Okay, get on with. Okay, so okay, you could say we must, let's say, we must get on with the meeting. Okay, we gotta get it started. Okay, we cannot waste any more time. Okay, so get is the verb. Okay, on is the adverb, and with is the preposition. Okay, so there are a couple of examples of 3-word phrasal verbs. I know the book only talks about 2-word phrasal verbs, but I'm just giving you a little extra. Okay, phrasal verbs can be 3 words. Okay, some other examples are put up with. Okay, I'm not going to put up with you anymore. Okay, that's one example. Another example is we look forward to. We look forward to meeting you. Look forward to. Okay. We talked about look verbs. We can have a 3-1. Okay. We look forward to. Okay. So this is a verb. Forward is the adverb. To is the preposition. We look forward to meeting you. Okay. For example, we look forward to meeting you. Okay. The other one we had, we could have made it 3. They look down at. Okay, that you can include that at as the third word in that phrasal verb. So we can have 2 or 3 phrasal verbs. Okay, I mean 2 or 3 word phrasal verbs. Okay, all right. So we're gonna move right along, and finally talk about separable and inseparable. Okay, separable and inseparable phrasal verbs. Okay, so we have 2 kinds. We have in. Oops. We have in. There goes the eraser. Okay. All right. Inseparable and. Well, I should have wrote that backward. Okay. Let's make it. Let's make it separable and inseparable here. Okay, so what's the difference between separable and inseparable? Okay, well, I can explain what the separable and inseparable. Okay, inseparable is an example. Example of a separable would be like put in. Put in. Okay, put in. That's the verb, and that's what? That's the adverb, right? That's the adverb. Okay, so you say, I put in the sugar. Okay, I put in the sugar in my coffee. Okay, I'm not going to write the whole thing. I put in the sugar, for example. Okay, I put in the sugar. Okay, so in this sentence, you could say what? Okay, remember, this is the phrasal verb, right? Put in. Okay, the 2 words. You can separate that and put that phrase in there. Okay, you can say, I put the sugar in my sugar, okay, in my coffee. Okay, so this is the phrasal verb put in, and we just split it up and we separated it, and we can put sugar in the middle of it. Okay, we can do that. Okay, let me give you another example. Okay, we talked about look up a word, right? I look up a word. Okay, that's separable. Why? Because that's the phrasal verb, and you can open that up. Okay, I look. Okay, I look a word up. Okay, I look a word up. I look a word up in my dictionary. Okay, so you can separate separable phrasal verbs. Okay. Well, inseparable obviously are phrasal verbs that you cannot separate. Okay, you cannot separate. Okay, so for example, let me see here. Okay, let's talk about like look after. Okay, we just talked about that. Look after. Okay, let's say I look after the kids. Let's make it short. Okay. Okay, I look after the kids. Okay, now this is the phrasal verb, right? Look after. Okay, now can you split that and put kids in the middle? Let's try it. Okay, say look, I look the kids after. Okay, I look the kids after. No way. It doesn't sound good at all, right? It sounds really bad. I look the kids after. No way. Okay. Same thing like I. Another one is what? I look for my keys, right? Okay. I look for my key. Okay. Now, can you? This is look for, right? That's the phrasal verb. What if I split it? If I say I look my I look my key for? I look my key for? No. It doesn't sound good at all. It sounds very bad. Okay? So, inseparable ones, you cannot separate the phrasal verbs. You got to keep them together. Separable ones, you can separate and put other stuff in. You can put phrases in the middle of it. Okay? So that's the difference. Okay? That's the difference. Now, how do you know which one's which? Okay? How do you know which one's which? Okay? Again, you know, when you speak the language fluently, it just sounds bad. Just like, I mean, if that didn't sound bad to you, okay? I look my keys for, I look kids after. If that doesn't sound bad to you, then, your English is not, needs to improve, okay? But if you're speaking fluent English, that, nobody would ever talk like that. That sounds really bad. In fact, we actually have a rule for this one, okay? It's not just I'm not gonna just say you just have to memorize, okay? Okay, for separable, to make it simple, okay? To make it simple, you're gonna hear a lot of different things, but the simplest explanation is this, okay? For separable is the ones using adverbs, okay? Remember verb and adverb? If it's a separable, I'm sorry, if it's a phrasal verb that uses adverb, okay, then it's separable, okay? If it uses preposition, okay, then it's inseparable, okay? That's how, that's the easiest way to remember, okay? So if you say, let's say, what's a good one? Well, we talked about it before, okay? If you say, pick up, okay? I pick up, let's say, my brother, okay? I pick up my brother at the airport, okay? I pick up my brother at the airport, okay? So, up is not a preposition, okay? How do you know? Okay, let's think of it this way. Would you say, up my brother? What's up my brother? That doesn't make any sense, okay? That's not a prepositional phrase. This is not together, okay? This is not together. A preposition usually begins a prepositional phrase, right? It goes together. Up my brother is not a is not a unit. It's not. They don't go together. Okay. So that up goes with the verb. Okay. My brother is just a two-word phrase, right? But pick out, pick up. Okay. So this is an adverb. Okay. This up describes the verb pick. Okay. It doesn't relate anything to my brother. Okay. So you gotta just realize there's no relationship between up and my brother. Okay. So this would be an adverb. So if it's an adverb, you can separate, right? You can say, I pick my brother up. Okay, you can do that. This is the phrasal verb, separable phrasal verb, and you can put brother in the middle. Okay, all right, and then inseparable. Let's say I get on the bus, for example. I get on the bus. Okay, now this is the phrasal verb, right? Get on. Okay, but look at this phrase right here. On the bus. On the bus. That sounds very not natural, right? That's together. That's a phrase. That's a prepositional phrase. On the bus. On the bus. Okay. So that's a preposition. So when it's a preposition, what happens? You cannot separate. Okay, it's inseparable. So let's try to separate it. Say, I get the bus on. I get the bus on. Doesn't make any sense. That's no good. Okay? So if it uses an adverb, it's separable. If it uses a preposition, it's inseparable. Okay? All right. I'll be right back in the second video. Okay? See you soon. Okay, bye-bye.